Motivational, the podcast. If you are new, welcome to the channel, welcome to the podcast. If you are not, welcome back. Before we do anything, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Today's episode is not going to be long, but I hope it's impactful. I hope that you get something from it. It is inspired by a famous song that we should know. If not, no worries. But today's topic is dust yourself off and try again. Whew, man, we are getting closer and closer to 2024 being done with and us walking into a new year. And I really wanted to just give you some motivation. I really just wanted to inspire you to keep going after your dreams, after your aspirations, and all the things that you know God has put inside of you to do and to share it with the world. Many of y'all know, or many do not know, but this year I graduated with my bachelor's in business management with a concentration in public administration. And man, it was not easy. Just to give you a little short story, a little 1-2 on a beat. I went to school in 2013. I went to a regular school where I was, staying on campus, and my second semester I dropped out, unfortunately, because I couldn't afford it. Fast forward, I found a program from Southern New Hampshire University, the best school of all schools, and I finally went and got my associates. After I got my associates, I told myself, you know what, let's bang it out, let's do the bachelor. Now this is where it gets tricky, because life has a way of just giving you so many twists and turns. And for me, I'm the type of person, well, I'm working on it, so I don't want to claim that, but in my past, in my previous mindset, I would allow whatever I'm going through to affect everything else. So if I'm going through a breakup, then I'm not doing school. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm done doing this, I'm done working out, whatever it is. And so every situation that I went through that was big in my eyes really affected my future plans and what I really desired to do. Through the process of getting my bachelor's, I was excited about it, and life is lifing. And there was one point in my life where I was like, you know what, I don't want to be in school. Like, what I want to do, I don't have to be in school. I don't care about it. I'm not a school person. If anybody knows me knows I do not like school. I like to learn. I don't like to do the homework. Okay, so I dropped out. I dropped out 3 times with my bachelor's. It's not funny, but it is funny. And I never imagined myself going back to school. That's something that I told myself I was done with. Kudos to everybody that got a degree. I got an associate's and a diploma. It's good enough for me. One of the things that really is important to have around and to be around is like-minded people. So you have people who are doing better than you. You have people who are on the same direction as you, that's already accomplished that. And then you have people who are on the same page, may not be wanting to do the same exact thing that you want to do, but have the same grind, have the same determination that you have to get to that destination. And so for me, I'm thankful and I'm blessed that I have all 3 of those type of people in my life, those type of categories in my life. And one of the things that I'm really thankful about is having such an amazing mentor, Michelle. She has been such a light in so many dark moments of my life, not just when it comes to school-wise, but when it comes to my personal life. And nothing happens by coincidence for me. I believe that there are people that God assigns in your life that are there for a lifetime. They are there for a season, and may come in and out, and not in a sense of, okay, they did you wrong, then you leave and then you come back. No, but in a sense of they're there for you, and life is lifing, and people are growing, and people have work, and people have careers, but somehow, some way, you guys end up finding your way back to each other. And Michelle, my mentor, my big sis, literally just the it girl in my eyes, is that person for me. Shout out to Michelle. She already knows how I feel about her, but when I met Michelle, she was and still is a Black woman in the corporate world that had a high position that people really actually respected. And she knew how to talk to people, and she knew how to demand respect without being disrespectful. She inspired me because I looked at her as someone that, okay, I definitely have some of the characteristics, or I definitely can take some of the things that she does to better me and better my future and better what I want to do, whether that's a CEO, whether that's a higher position in corporate, or that's just me being an entrepreneur. There are some things that I sat back and listened to that she said to me that always will forever stick to me. And I remember telling her that I was moving to Houston, Texas, and she is big on education. And one thing she said was, well, what about school? And my response was, what about school? What about it? I don't know. I don't know what, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't know what you're talking about. I just wait for the bus. I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, listen, you halfway there. You go into a new city. Just do it. Just get it over with. You can do it. You've already done half of it. Just get it done. And her saying that put a little bug inside of me. And I listened to her and I said, whatever. But as I was packing, as I was preparing for Houston, in the back of my mind, all I could hear was Michelle saying, just do it, just get it done. And I never imagined, it took me 7 or 8 years, I can't remember, I'm not doing math. It took me 7, 8 years for me to finally finish my bachelor's. And for that semester, I lost sleep. I lost friends. I lost, not really lost, but I sacrificed not going out. I sacrificed moving into a new city, a new town, a new state, and being like, you know what, I can't go in, I have to do homework. I sacrificed just chilling and getting off work and doing nothing because I knew I had to go and finish this. I didn't want to do another year, another 7 years for me to finish something that I know that I could have accomplished in the time that was handed into me. And because Michelle saw that in me, because she saw my potential in finishing, it was in a sense of, I don't want to let her down because she sees so much in me and I want to see what she sees. That was the most proud, one of the most proud moments that I have ever accomplished, because that's something that nobody can take away from me. That's something that I worked hard for. That's something that I sacrificed so much in order to better myself. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because just because there's something that you started maybe a year ago, a month ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, however long, a week ago, however long it's been, whether that's content, whether that's going to school, whether that's going to get a trade, whatever it is that you started, and there's something in you that is telling you, I need to see this through, do it. And maybe you don't see that. Maybe you don't, like me. Never imagine you going back to that place. Never imagine that you would finish the race. But I'm encouraging you to get you those 3 categories of friends, mentorships, people that can hold you accountable. Because 7 years later, the same person that spoke life to me years ago was the same person that spoke life to me in 2024. I want you to know that you can do it. So what if you took time off of it? So what if you're a certain age? So what if you felt like this is where you were supposed to be at 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, 8, wherever you are in life? I want you to get up out of that bed, off of that couch, and I want you to push through. I want you to get up, and I want you to dust yourself off and try again. If you want to go to the gym, and you know deep down inside you want to commit to it, but somehow, some way, you just can't stick to it, I want you to keep trying and keep setting small goals until you get to the finish line that you have for yourself. We have put on ourselves this pressure of where we need to be because of what society or what our family and friends tell us we should be at this very moment. No one can control your life except for God. No one has that power unless you give them the power to tell you who to be, to tell you when to finish, to tell you when to start. Nobody has that unless you give them that, unless you feed into that, unless you tell yourself that they're right. Even with my content, there are so many people that don't support. There are so many people that are like, she's done this before. What's different about this time? What's different about this time for me and my life is that I'm not getting any younger. And I believe there are some blessings that God has on hold for me, because there are some things that He needs me to do before I can even receive those things. There are some characteristics, there's some learning, there's some growing, there's some maturing that I need to do in order for that door to open up. And when it opens up, it's going to be big. But God wants to see your consistency in this season. God wants to see your discipline. I want to see you win this time. The same energy, the same goal-getting spirit that you have for everybody else, it's time for you to do it for yourself. How much longer are you going to keep delaying? Maybe you've never seen it done before, but maybe you're supposed to do it. And if you keep letting what people think about you, or if you keep letting, oh, I stopped 5 times, or I went back to school 3 times, or I dropped out 3 times, or I went back to get my license already 2 times, I'm just, you know what, forget it. No, dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off until you see the determination. Dust yourself off until you see the consistency. You are wise. You are great. You are a king's kid. I don't care what age you are. I don't care where you are in life. There's room for you. There's room for you at the table. Sometimes you gotta squish. Sometimes you gotta push over, make room. But here I am. Here I am, standing tall. So what? I dropped out. So what? I haven't been consistent in the past. So what? I started this podcast and my YouTube in 2018, and now it's 2024, almost 2025. So what? Oh, I don't see it moving. I don't... You might as well just forget it. I know I'm destined for greatness. Rome wasn't built in a day. Keep pushing, keep fighting. Be the light in the darkness. So if you have a dream, if you have a goal that you want to reach and you feel like it's too far and you feel like you'll never make it, sometimes it's all about timing. Sometimes we're not ready to finish the race. Sometimes we're not mature to handle what God is giving us. Sometimes we're not, even though it took me so long to finish, even though it took me so long to be consistent in content, the timing is now. And I decide to choose now. I decide to say enough is enough. I decide to say, man, I didn't put everybody else before me. And I've been in last And people have left me. I no longer want to leave me. I no longer want to see myself not finishing the race. I no longer want to see you not finishing the race. Timing is everything. Give yourself grace. Ask God, is this the right time? Is this the right season for me to finish it? God allowed me to have the time for it. God allowed me to have a work from home job that could work with my schedule for school. There was no excuses. And so I believe that in this new season that we are about to walk into, that we can't make excuses, that God is making room for the things that He has for us. God is making room for the things that we need to accomplish. So look in the mirror, wipe those tears, and say, I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. This time I'm going to stay consistent. This time I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm going to give myself small goals to reach, small goals to accomplish. This time is going to be different. This time I'm going to lose this weight. This time I'm going to be consistent with my content. This time I'm going to be consistent in my relationship with God. This time I'm going to be consistent with everything. This time I'm going to be consistent with waking up in the morning. This time I'm going to be consistent in what I put in my body. I'm going to be consistent in eating right and living right and studying my word right. This time I'm going to dust myself off and try again. I hope this encouraged you. I hope that this inspired you. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for loving me. Thank you for watching. You didn't have to, but you do. Thank you for liking. You didn't have to, but you do. Thank you for sharing, commenting. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you for rooting for me. Because this time is different. And I know that as I continue to put God first, as I continue to do my part, it's only up from here. And it's only up for you. All right? Like I always say, I love y'all. And until next time, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.